Back then, 5 generations ago, there were actually 6 mom and pop general stores like this in a 30 square mile area. Pingestown Road was basically a dirt road. This was rural with a capital R, very undeveloped. And we just stumbled across it 22 years ago and fell in love with it. There are 4 variables that can ruin any day: vendor support, weather, equipment failure, and staffing. Any day when 1 or 2 of those hit, it's a bad day. If all 3 hit in the same day, man, forget it. If all 4 hit in the same day, you're out of business anyway. So we get here half an hour early, we open, get everything up and going. I liken it to de-icing the wings, getting off the runway and gaining altitude and get up to 30,000 feet, clear the Alps and put it on cruise control. And she's blowing and going in the kitchen. I'm blowing and going on the register.
When we open, everything has to be ready to be assembled. And so everything has to be stocked. And then as people start coming in, then we just take the orders and we cook to orders. It's constantly, you're taking an order, you got an order that's on, and you got an order that needs to go on. So it's just kind of a cycle and keeping up with all of that.
But that's kind of the way it goes. We open, we do it, we close, Jackson Brown, get up and do it again.
We try to help wherever we can and pick up on things that people might have forgotten.
But we're a backstop. We're a backup plan for a lot. So we offer contingencies. The grace of God is what has brought us through all of this, and her commitment and passion, and our commitment and passion. And, we're here.
Gentleman came in for a burger. He said, "I'm from Pensacola," and Doug was standing there. And he said, "Well, I'm from Pensacola." Conversation kept going on and on. Anyway, it wound up being that it was Doug's mom's best friend's son, 15 or 20 years since we had actually seen him. We all just had not seen each other because his mom had passed away the year after we moved here, so we didn't go back down to Florida anymore, and that's where he still lived. So we had this great cry session because we'd all lost them. And so anyway, he came up today. He wound up staying like 5 days just so we could visit, and has come back through since. So you never know. And the same thing happens, not just out with us, but people that run into each other here that haven't seen each other in days, weeks, months, years, decades, have never met, have only talked on the phone with one another. It's just a fluke that they wind up, because I really take the time to introduce people, even though I may not know. If I hear a connection, oh, well, you might, or da-da-da, and then people wind up meeting.
I walked out on the porch one day, and there were these 2 nuns sitting outside, and they were very meek and mild. And they come out here and they hike. And they had been enjoying the hike and done this several times. Just came by the store on the way out, didn't know we had a kitchen. They came another time and they brought somebody else, and they became regulars, and they were coming more and more often. Each time they came, they'd bring 1 or 2 more, and then they brought 4 or 5 from Nashville, and then 3 or 4 from St. Louis. And the next thing I knew, there was 8 or 10 of them on this one particular visit. And it was just so, natural. And I said, y'all sit right out here. Oh, we don't want to get in the way. Well, you're not in the way. You're part of it. It's a layer upon layer interconnected mosaic, a fabric of community. The nuns come in, it's time to go, and they said, "We would like to sing for y'all." And I said, "Well, that's really sweet. Hang on one second." She said, Is there any way that you and Miss Kristin can be together? And I know this is a pretty Saturday afternoon, man, and there's a line of people waiting to order and a line waiting to ring, and they're coming in the door, and I'm like, give us just a few minutes. Well, 5 or 10 minutes later, the lines were longer at both ends. And finally, I just said, "Y'all, we gotta call a timeout. We're calling an audible here. These ladies want to sing for us." And they made this half moon semicircle, and they're all shoulder to shoulder like a bunch of little penguins, and they started to sing the song. and it was a hymn, a Gregorian chant probably. And there, you could have heard a pin drop. All the hustle bustle, all the buzz, and it wasn't out of curiosity. It was just out of respect. And I think everybody realized that something very unique was happening. When your life is over and you're laying there in the bed and you got 5 or 10 seconds on your last breath, and the videos of the things that come to mind, they're on that video.
So it's just about, talking to people. And what we say now is that our AI is authentic interaction, and that's what I would say. The memories that I have are not the bad things that have happened, because trust me, we've had bad weather and bad days of sales and bad this and that, but it's the people that we meet or that we re-meet.
There's a spirit, there's a magic spirit about this place, and it is authentic. And it's not about bad weather or good food or whatever, the vicissitudes of life. You can expect them, you can accept them, and you can roll right through them. But the magic is when stuff like that happens. The store provides comfort to people. The store provides healing, reassurance, a safety, a sanctuary, and the food becomes an extension of that. What this really does, its purpose is a mission of healing and love and community and affirmation and calm and a sense of peace and no anxiety and no fear and no worry. But right in here, it's a neutral safety zone. And that's really, really, really cool. And that's what the magic is all about.